Day day 634. I have Bubby. The pup. She's ready for bed. She's laying down, and I moved, and then she had to move. But she's here. She's sleepy just like I am. And it finally feels back to be good in the apartment. Yesterday was a long but very, very fun day. Huh, puppy? I missed you a little bit, huh? Didn't get to see you too much, but I'm here today. Huh? Yes, it's a good girl. And what happens? We got back, gave everyone the burritos. We ate a little bit, walked around, and was waiting for someone else to come in that was still running and see how it was, and then walk back with them to get the next person started. But we just didn't see anyone for about an hour, so I was just like, I'm just gonna fall asleep. Maybe they're over there having coffee or found friends, or I don't know. But since I'm not seeing anyone, I'm gonna take a nap while I can. And it was about 1:30 when I fell asleep. Got up around 3, but it was just so cold. It was in the low 40s. I'm just trying to fall asleep either on the chair, and there was a light kind of like here. It was like looking at this light all night, which I understand why people need it when you're running. You need to identify the camp, especially if you're a little bit tired. Anything that's going to help make it easier, like a flashlight, someone walking with you, that light hanging up, it just helps. So I understood, but at the same time, I just need some sleep right now. And someone got out and went to go run, and they got out of the tent, and so I was like, I'm gonna hop in the tent then. So I hopped in the tent. It took me about 20 minutes because it was so cold. It took my body time to get used to the floor because the floor was chilly. And then I fell asleep and I was just out. I was done. Just completely exhausted. And then got up around 3:30. It was like 3:15, and it took about 15 minutes just to get up. And I got up and my legs were just shaky. They weren't responsive. And imagine that's probably what a drunk person would feel like. Just, I'm gonna walk this line, and then they're just wobbling over and feeling their legs give out. So my legs were just, I think my body in general was, my mind was tired, my body was cold and needing more nutrition, hydration, and was fatigued. And so finally got up. I thought there was a shuttle taking me to the car. It just drove right past, like, okay, maybe that wasn't the right shuttle. So I walked. It was only about a mile, and grabbed the car, and then drove back, loaded up, and then came back. Got back at, oh my gosh, it was 4:45ish. So saw the pup, put the stuff down, and just lay down in bed. Set the alarm for 6:30. So I had approximately an hour and a half of sleep there. Got up, walked the dog, and took a shower. Drove over to meet Jennifer, Jesse, and Omar for the Rugged Maniac. And I know I should be excited, but I'm so fatigued still. It just took it out of me. And even walking back to get my car at Ragnar just hurt my back. I think it was cold, body was tired, not sleeping well, and my back muscles just fatigued, and so my back's been sore all day. But anyways, get to Rugged Maniac. We go in Jennifer's car, drive over there. Our event starts at 10:15, and we get there around 9:15, 9:15, 9:20. We go get our race packets. We have about 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes to warm up, get ready, drop our stuff back off, get back to the start line. And there's already people starting. I think the earliest was 8 o'clock, and that was the competitive series. What I remember on the sign up. And then we hung out for a bit. Me and Omar ran a warm up mile, and then we were all hanging out a little bit. We saw a couple other friends there, or some of their friends. I didn't know them too much, but they were at the Chandler half marathon event 2 weeks ago. And then we started our race, and they were saying, I was like, are we running it together? Or are we being competitive? And then Omar was like, well, I'm going for it. And then Jennifer was like, all right, let's do it. And so I'm like, all right, let's race. And I'm fatigued, so I know it's not going to be my best. And I haven't done a competition like this with obstacles. So I was like, I'm just going to run hard, take what time I need the obstacles, run hard again. That's my strategy. And I've been trying to get back into the push-ups. Pull-ups have been slowly getting there. They went off and on. Obviously, I missed on. Did I do any Thursday night? I may have done some Thursday night, like 2 sets. But Friday night, obviously, didn't do any. Tonight, I'm not doing any. But yeah, I got out at 10:15, started the pack, and it was just an over/under, simple thing. Next thing was climbing another wall. The next thing was pretty much climbing another wall. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Just, where's the other obstacles? Where's the mixture? Where's the balance stuff? Where's the crawling? And sure enough, right around mile 2, it was just mud event after mud event. And I think the first one we got down, and you kind of crawl backwards. Or at least I did. I got down, spun around, and kind of monkey barred it, pulling myself through so I could breathe. And then got out, and then it was like a little mud mound. And then there was, I think, an army crawl, and there was barbed wire over you, and so you're getting cold at this point. And then I just kept switching. There was just, I think, monkey bars. Yeah, right after the mud crawl was the monkey bars, and your hands are wet and muddy, and the grip is extremely difficult. It's like a rounder bar. It's not like a thin. It's not easy to grab, and it starts rotating and swinging, and so a lot of people are falling. I fell. I think I grabbed the start of the one, and then 2 over, and then it just out. I don't think I have great grip strength, so I'm working on that. When I was running, I could hear a guy, and me and him kept going back and forth. And I get in front of him a little bit, and he comes back around and passes me on one of the crawls. And I've been trying to catch him the last mile. We catch up to each other at the wall. I was like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, I'm just tired, man. I don't know if I have enough speed to get up. I was like, just give it a go. See what you got. And he's waiting, like, all right, I'm going to go. And I go, and I get up, and I'm surprised how far I got up. Because one, my legs are fatigued, my mind's fatigued. And I thought I was going to slip more, and I apparently did fine. I grabbed the wall. So I grabbed it up here, arms extended, tried to pull up, and my arms were just shot, and so I let go. Thankfully, there was someone up there on the wall, and they said, oh, bring your leg over. So I pulled up a little bit, leg slipped because I tried to grip with my foot. So I hang on and then swing it back around, and then they grab my foot, or grab kind of around my knee area, pull me over, and I was like, holy cow. I did it almost first try with help. And so, like, all right, there's a line of people to go up to the next obstacle. It's a little rope climb, and then a little inflatable ladder, and then you slide down. So there's a giant line. People are slowing down. So like, all right, if there's people that waiting to go up, I might as well help the next person up. So I'm waiting. I helped 1 or 2 people up. I was like, man, that's a great feeling right there. And I felt bad because there were some firemen that tried to do it in full uniform, and it was just hard for them to run. And they would get like inches within a grip of someone, and they just slide back down. And one of them fell in the oxygen tank, so I can't imagine that felt great. But he took him in to recoup, and I think eventually they got around. But then I saw I think Jennifer, and I was like, come on, let's go. And then this other guy was right there, right in front of her, and he took off. Like, okay. And I tried to grab him, and I don't know what happened, but I can't see it right now, but on my left side, somewhere in there, I think I tore ligaments in there or strained it, sprained it, I don't know. But I felt a little bit of a pop, and it's been sore ever since. And closing my grip hurts, like there. I can feel it on the top of the hand. I think he grabbed it and we kind of twisted to grab to get the grip, and we both had muddy hands, and so I think it slipped. But I just felt it like, oh my gosh, I can't take another one of those. And he was a little bit heavier than I was expecting, and so I was like, okay, I need a break. And so I kind of stood out, let someone else try to get him. And then when Jennifer was like, Jennifer, come on, let's go. And she grabbed on, and then we pulled her up. But the thing that scared me is because I hurt my wrist or my hand. So when she grabbed my hand, she leaned back to step on the wall. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, and I get her mentality of thinking that if she steps on the wall, she can walk up it, right? And then put a foot over. But again, my hand, I was like, what if I didn't have you and you started walking up the wall if I'd let go? Like, not that I wanted to, but I told her, I was like, afterwards, it's like, I hurt my hand, and you put a lot of faith that after going through all that mud and water that we were going to be able to hang on. I was like, you really scared me, and I had to make sure I know I can hold her and hoist her up, but I was like, you scared me just after the series of events with the guy before, and then she did that. I was like, be careful when you do that, because if you drop or you slip, like that's a hard fall. I mean, like, thankfully nothing happened, but that really scared me, and I talked to her about it, and she was just like, what do you mean? Like, I had to walk up. I'm like, we lift you up, we hoist you, you don't need to walk. It's not I think I kind of get it if it was a rope. So I'm thinking you practice on a rope somewhere at the gym or something, and you grab the rope, right, and then you walk up it, and that makes sense. But anyways, everything's fine, she's okay. And then 20-30 seconds later, Omar was right there. It's like, come on, Omar, let's go, let's do this as a group. And we got him, I can't remember his first or second try, but we got him up. And then we were waiting for Jesse, and I think Jesse was minutes behind, so they said, okay, let's just go. And even Jesse told us before, just, you guys don't have to wait, just go. And so we went, and we only had another, not even a quarter mile after that. So we climbed up the little rope, then the inflatable, and there's a giant slide down into some cold water, and then maybe a 200-meter jog to finish. So we finished, chatted for a minute. I talked to the guy that beat me in our heat, and he was a cross-country runner from He said Pine, I think he said, so I'm guessing Pine Top. But he said his family was here, he's doing the event with the family, so he's waiting for him. But he ran a great race. He said he's just as cross, but he looked really built, and so I was like, are you mid-distance runner then? He's like, yeah, I don't do well in cross, but I like the 400. I'm like, okay, I could kind of see that success, and you're a little bit stockier than your average runner, so I thought you might have been doing CrossFit or something. You did so well in the obstacles, so I figured you maybe have that better background. It's like, no. So we talked for a bit, and then we saw Jesse, took a few pictures, then walked around, and then we were so covered in mud, and we took a bunch of pictures. And then there was a little bath. We took the bath and took a few samples, and then we're on our way. And I came back, got in my car. I mean, I changed clothes a little bit to get into drier clothes, and then came back, said hi to the pup, threw stuff immediately in the wash, like showered, and everything that was from the mud run I threw in the wash: shoes, shirts, the towel, the socks. But there was so much mud, I couldn't believe it. I started to get ready in the shower, and there was just all this mud and sand. I'm like, what the heck? So I jumped in the shower to shake it all off, and then threw it to the side, and I had to sweep up afterwards because the tile was covered in dirt and little rocks. So I showered, ate some chicken strips right after that, passed out for 3 hours. I was done. I don't think I woke up once, and I just felt fatigued all day. And even right now, I feel like I could sleep for 10 hours. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be a recovery day or what, but I don't know. For the miles this week, I'm a little bit lower, but I mean, I had some quality miles with the last 2 races. I'm at 27 miles for the week, so a little bit lower than I would like. I'd like to get to at least 35 minimum. I don't know how tomorrow's going to go, but we'll sleep on it. So run your life with health and happiness, and have a good night.